All right, we back. They're back. And like I said, I anticipate seeing one of the most uh, embarrassing cross examinations. I just don't think she got a shot against this prosecutor. You know, I think this prosecutor gonna run through it here, but we gonna give it a look. I just the strategy that they're trying it does not carry any weight this late in the game. And even the questions he was asking her, I don't think he set her up for an acquittal. I think he set her up to get embarrassed right here in this cross examination that's about to happen. It's like I say, it's just one of those things where if you're gonna get yourself involved in the crime, dog, you better know what you get involved in. She don't know the system. She don't know the law. She don't even know how to play the game with the defense that she's using. So she's doomed. And like I said, this prosecutor, I'm pretty sure that they thought this was going to be the defense coming through the door. So I'm almost positive that they chomping at the bit to get to this part of it where they can ask her about the stuff that audio chopping. Your device chopping. I don't know. I don't know my audio chopping. So, just inside this board. How you doing, Mari? Well,
Some stuff on your table.
Blue,
I didn't want to touch it while you guys were
creepy.
at lunch, but I might get some of the, the one you're at council table. I was at the other one getting the exhibits. Yeah. Or is that yours? That was it. Thank you.
I just realized we were missing a rather important jury instruction, 3.7 regarding burden of proof. So I'm going to print that up and include that. Sorry. We're also missing 2.7, the instruction on closing arguments. Print that one up as well. I'm going to print a couple things up and then we'll be going.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, she in bad shape, man. She in a bad position.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm tripping. I might just log out right quick and log back in. I hate commercials. Like I really do hate commercials. Come on with it, fam. Like, god damn, I hate. Like, imagine if you a defendant in there, bro, and they just sitting there quiet as hell, bro, ain't nothing moving. Like, let's get to it, bro. I hate court proceedings. But it's even worse when you're the defendant. Hey, grandbaby, you want to watch the trial of Alicia Andrews with your pawpaw?
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, dagnabbit. No, that's not what I wanted to print. I rum.
I caramba. I don't think I heard that since the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Come on, man. Let's see if we can get to
I caramba.
this goddamn trial, man. What's going on, man? They playing around in the courtroom. Y'all got somebody's life hanging in the balance, dog. Get to the proceedings.
I got it right. I did. Okay. Are you all going
Just
to
realize that
the jury before the elements before closing arguments or after?
Judge, I would like to go forward.
Okay. So I'm going to review these. Okay, I'm going to review these one more time. I'm going to put them in the order that they're going to be given to the jury, and I'll read them to the jury before closing arguments. All right, we need, Ms. Andrews is on the stand, defense counsel's present, state's present, everybody ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's bring in our jury.
Yes, Judge.
let's go. Yeah, I think this gonna be bad. She just
All
too
rise.
cool on the stand, man. I mean, I guess you don't want to look guilty, but she don't look innocent either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think you got to at least try to give the impression that you could possibly be innocent. And how you do that with body language, I don't know. I can't really tell you that, but I know she's not doing it.
Okay, very good, thank you. Welcome back, members of the jury. Everyone have a seat. State, you may proceed with cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Andrews, you've testified about your on-again, off-again relationship with the co-defendant, in this case, Isaiah Chance. Is that correct?
Yes,
In fact, you told this jury about some instances where you had been hit by him. Is that correct?
yes,
You've dated Isaiah Chance for over 4 years. Isn't that true?
not over 4 years.
How long?
It's about just 4 years.
Just about 4 years, okay. And it's been on again, off again, is that correct?
Yes,
And during that time period, you have dated other young boys, is that correct?
okay.
Does Kamari Outing sound familiar?
Yes,
He's a boy that you had dated, and you still were talking to him, in fact, up until the time of the crime, June of 2024. Is that correct?
we never did, but yeah, I was talking to him.
Okay. And in fact, at some point, Isaiah Chance got upset and made phone calls to him, right?
Yes,
And you had conversations on your phone with Mr. Kamari Outing, where you two discussed that. Isn't that true?
I believe so.
And they were still on your phone. They were backed up. They were saved on your phone, and they were on your phone June 23rd of 2024. You never deleted these messages that you had with Kamari Outing. Isn't that correct?
I mean, to see the message, I don't know. What is that message?
Okay. Your Honor, I'll approach the witness. Would looking at those messages help refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Not the messages with the other dudes, so I don't know where they going with this, but yeah. Sound like she don't want to say she was talking to other people too, though. Sound like she don't want to. I mean, that shit over with, though. Can't worry about that. You better worry about yourself right now, not how
If
you
you'll
look.
take a look at this.
Yeah, I don't know. She can't be concerned about how it makes her look, though. Like they going somewhere with this line of question. They ain't just asking about no phone calls with no other dudes for nothing. That'd be funny to me, man. How they be like looking at the stuff, like acting like they really like invested. Like, girl, you know what that shit is. You are not confused in any way, shape, or form, man. Get on with it. Let's get on with the proceedings.
Isaiah, did you recognize these messages from your phone?
Yes.
And Kamari Outing, he was a member of 1200, isn't that correct?
No.
No? I'm going to show you States Exhibit 75C12. That's a photo of you, Kamari Outing, that was still on your phone. Isn't that true, ma'am?
That's not Kamari.
That's not Kamari?
That's my cousin,
Okay, what's your cousin's
Marcus.
Marcus? Okay. And in this messaging with Kamari, he's upset because Isaiah Chance has called him and basically told him that you're with him and that you're pregnant, and you're still trying to get Kamari Outing to talk to you, right? Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yeah, that's my cousin.
And he doesn't want to because of Isaiah Chance, correct? In fact, you're the one that keeps on insisting that he not block you and that you and him continue to talk. Is that correct?
Yeah, but messages behind that, that's my best friend. And I called him. He was just going on and on about, he didn't want him to, he was giving him a reason to not text me back, to not talk to me. That's what that was about.
And so despite the fact that Isaiah Chance doesn't want you to have anything to do with him, you're fine with disobeying what Isaiah Chance wants because this is your best friend, right?
Yeah, and at the time I sent that, I was at home in my bed. I was not with Isaiah.
But all of these messages are still saved and on your iPhone, right?
I mean, I guess so.
They were. You guys, they're on your iPhone, right?
They're my iCloud.
Yes. And so your iCloud backs up your iPhone, ma'am. Isn't that true?
Not sure it works, but I think so.
Okay. You don't recognize these messages? Something that you typed and you received on your little pink iPhone?
I believe so.
Okay. And your phone is also password protected, right?
Yes.
Because certainly when Isaiah Chance is using your phone, that night June 23rd of 2024, at some point when you're walking in that parking lot, your phone locks up, right?
Yes,
And you have to enter in your password.
yes.
And so that's what happens with an iPhone. After your iPhone is not being activated over a lengthy period of time, a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, it does what?
It locks.
And so what do you have to do every time that happens?
Unlock it.
And obviously Isaiah Chance didn't know your password because you're standing there right next to him, and what does he have to do?
Asked for the password that first time, but he's looking at me.
And I'm going to show you States Exhibit 34. You know who this is, right? Charles Jones.
Yes,
You have known who he was since 2021 when you were at Rains High School, right?
I knew of him, yes.
You were well aware of him, right? This is something that you discussed a lot with your friend Jewel Jordan.
I only discussed him maybe 2 times.
At the time when you were doing that, did you date somebody by the nickname K Shorty?
We weren't dating.
You didn't date him either, right?
Oh, she was messing with K Shorty. Man. Yeah, man. K Shorty doing a 12 ball right now for a shooting. So sound like she was messing with all the goons. You know what I'm saying? All the street niggas. Like, that's crazy. You done got caught up in this murder, dog. She was messing with all the little street cats.
No,
You weren't upset talking about Jewel Jordan and Julio Charles Jones recruiting all these young men that were getting shot up in this gang war?
I wouldn't say upset. I was just gossiping.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But this is State 75C13. This is a photograph with you and K Shorty.
Yes, that's Therese.
Okay. And do you see what he's doing there?
Yeah.
He's throwing up like 12?
I don't know what the sign means. I
I have
mean,
no idea what that means. But you're posting this on TikTok, right? You love TikTok. You've talked about,
Yeah.
right? You posted on TikTok. You're both posing together.
yes, ma'am.
And despite the fact that you intimately know a lot of people who are associated with these gangs, you have no idea what it means when he's throwing up that sign.
No, I don't.
No idea whatsoever.
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled, go ahead.
You followed Charles Jones on Instagram, isn't that correct?
Maybe back then.
Did you ever unfollow him?
Probably.
You were still following him when this crime occurred, right, on Instagram?
I don't remember following him.
You don't remember? You never looked and you never saw any of these advertisements that Julio was going to be in Tampa on June 22nd?
No, I never seen those.
You did not like Julio back in 2021. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I mean, I wouldn't say a personal issue. When you say like him, didn't like him.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 75C2, conversation that you had with Jewel Jordan.
She threw.
I want you to read what you texted to her back on January 19th of 2021.
I said, but if you think about it, everybody different, everybody. People from out east, they side, so of course they gonna say something, but it don't even be proper like that, what? Like that for real. Foolio be the one talking shit, then all his little niggas come, then other extra people.
Okay. So you are talking about out east. That is a territory of 1,200.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're talking about how the people in 1,200 dish they side, correct? And then you're also talking about Papa, that's little Papa, right?
Yes.
And who's little Papa?
He's a rapper.
And you know that he also has a gang affiliation, is that correct?
I mean, he doesn't claim it, so I don't know.
Okay. You know your boyfriend Isaiah Chance is in a gang, isn't that true?
I don't know.
That's something you've told your best friend since you were little, Jewel Jordan, that you knew that he was in a gang, that he was in it.
I never told her that.
You never
I've
said that?
heard allegations of it. But when I asked him, he denies it, so of course I took his word.
This particular conversation, you then say, again, talking about Foolio, let's go down here. I want you to tell the jury what then you texted in response to Jordan saying they killing each other. And we're talking about the gang war in Jacksonville, right? 1,200 against 6 Block. HA against 6 Block, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's see, what did you text her?
I said, right, so it's gonna go
And
on.
I'm sorry, Ms. Andrews, if you don't mind, you speak very quickly, so if you could just speak slowly, because I'm seated next to you and I'm having trouble hearing you.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
I said, right, so it's gonna go on, and they keep saying let leave rest, but I'm sure the other side be feeling like that, so it's gonna keep repeating, and yeah, they know what come with it, so charge the game, retaliate or something, they sitting up there rapping, but that's y'all homeboy. Just do what y'all have to do. They don't be in Jacksonville, so I doubt they care about anybody, the upcoming rappers.
So Leaky is another person that has died in this gang war, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're well aware of that, correct?
Yes, went to the school with me.
So you have somebody who went to middle school that died in this gang war, and you had somebody who went to Rains High School that died in the gang war, is that correct?
Yeah, I heard of it, but I'm not friends with them.
This is wild for real. Like, so, like when you listen to some of this music, you know what I'm saying, that they be making in this drill scene and whatnot, you hear these names so much that you begin to kind of know the stories of all this stuff when it happened. You know what I'm saying? And so, like that name Lil Leaky is a name that Julio rapped about a lot when he was trying to diss people and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of sad that they threw these names around and whatnot, but it did happen often, and I don't think there's a way to avoid any of that once you in on it. Like, she was in on it. You know what I mean? At some point, I do think the prosecutor is trying to establish that she know what was going on.
Well, you say you're not friends with Spaz, right? Joe Rod Adams, correct?
Yeah, I'm not friends with him.
But he wasn't the only one that got shot in that Rains High School shooting, was he?
I think so.
Will also got shot in that high school shooting. Will Go Crazy, the person who you communicate with, your phone, right? You know who Will is.
I wouldn't say like that. He texts me, he tries to talk to me like I'm cute. People are gonna start talking to me like that.
He's who Jewel Jordan was talking about when she said that you two had a friend that was injured at the shooting at Rains High School, correct?
Yeah, when she says friend, she means associate.
So I didn't ask you that, but her wording up there was friends, right?
Yes.
And he got shot in the arm. His name is Will Royal. He went to high school with you, Rains High School, right?
I believe so.
You believe so, or you know so?
I don't remember his last name being Royal, so that's why I believe.
Okay, let's not call him Will Royal. Let's call him Will, who got shot in the left arm the same day that Spaz, Joe Rod Adams, got killed at Rains High School when you were attending there.
Yes.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, Will.
So what are you texting?
When you live in a Pulte home, you live in an innovative home that's built for you. And a home that's built for you has plenty of storage included.
You want me to read it?
Yeah. So what are you texting your friend Jewel Jordan on 1/21 of 2021?
You want me to read it?
Yes, ma'am.
I said it was deleted by the time I got up, but Foolio had said it'd be everybody. Foolio had said it, but everybody kind of knew that. It was just once that time he got shot, and I forgot the boy that died with him at the Reigns game, but the boy Robert ain't even do that, even though he on the 6th side. It was Bibby, and Will knew that, but Bibby died like 3 weeks later, so that was crazy.
Okay. And so who we're talking about right now, that you claim not to know his last name, is the very person you are texting Jewel Jordan about, right? Will.
Yes, ma'am.
So you knew him well enough to be texting to your friend, Jewel Jordan, after the high school shooting at Rains, correct?
Yes, he was known.
And the other person that you are mentioning in the same sentence is Robert. You're referring to Robert Howard, the person who actually went to prison for manslaughter for that shooting, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also mentioning Bibby, is that correct?
Yes.
Bibby is a nickname. It's a gang nickname, isn't it, Miss
I mean,
Andrews?
I didn't know his real name. I'm just referring to him as Baby.
Okay. Because Bibby is the way that the people who you hang out with refer to him, right?
No, the people on the internet refer to him as Baby.
That's right. And that's how they know him, by his
Yes.
gang name.
I mean, I wouldn't know if it's his gay name.
Do you think Bibby is his legal name?
I don't personally know.
I don't know what the prosecutor doing right here, fam. Like, that's little baby, fam. Like, can't really imply that she knows his real name, but on the internet and in the drill spaces, that name is well known. And I know his name is Adrian Gaynor from doing all his content about this stuff. But I don't know if she would know that. I don't know if she would even need to know that.
So,
And Jordan responds, OMG, LMFA, what does that mean?
laughing my fucking ass off.
Everyone's trying to know, they all had comments to calling. You guys are also watching what is going on social media between these warring rival gangs, aren't you?
Yeah, that day we're actually referring to a post, so we're reading the comments, but instead of putting it in the comments, we're texting it to each other.
Now I want you to read to the jury what you texted friend Julie
Right,
Jordan
no
on
comment on
January
that shit.
21st of 2021.
I said, girl, I don't like Foolio, laugh my fucking ass off, ugly ass bitch. He needs to die, and shit, that was.
Wait a minute. Hold up, fam. Ali. Hold on, fam. What? Yeah, she. Ooh. What? I don't like Julio. He need to die. Ah, she done.
21st of 2021.
I said, girl, I don't like Julio, laugh my fucking ass off, ugly ass bitch. He need to die, and shit, that was Will friend, fuck the cold shit. Then I said, bitch, he shot me and my friend died. Yeah, I'm pointing out who did it.
And so you don't like Julio Foolio. That's fair to say back in 2021, you didn't like him.
Yeah, that was my opinion when I was 17 years old.
Damn. Yeah, that about do it for me. I mean, we can see how much further she digs herself into this hole, but as for me, yeah, we're done here, fam. She guilty. She's done.
And your exact words were, he need to die, correct?
Yeah, but I didn't. I'm 17, just gossiping.
Okay. But you really are talking about your friend Will, and you're saying, fuck the coach, if he shot me and my friend died. You're referring to Will and his friend Spaz that died.
Yeah, I was saying he knew probably who killed his friend. He should have spoke up. I'm saying it was my friend. I'm going to tell who did it.
So you were upset that 6 Block and you leave 6 Block and Julio Fulio's group were responsible for your friend getting shot, correct?
I mean, that was what was on the internet, and I wasn't upset, and I'm just gossiping. I really don't care, honestly.
And then you emphasized it, right?
No, she emphasized
She
it.
emphasized.
That's crazy to be in your phone, dog. You too, man.
Then I want you to go down here and say what you said, 1/2 of 2021.
I said, bitch, hold on, because I think Julio talking about Therese and his friend left, if I do not like him.
Okay. And tell us again who Therese is.
Therese is the person I'm in a picture with.
And then what did you say?
I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. I was reading the comments.
And then what did you say here?
No, that's her talking.
Oh,
At
I'm
the
sorry,
top.
what did Jewel Jordan say in
She
response?
said that's Julio. He recruit a bunch of dumbass niggas who willing to die.
And then what was your response to that?
I said right, and he started to realize. But first time I saw him, that shit clicked on. When Foolio called, we all in the garage. He talking about nigga always want me to ride with him when he down here, so I could be the one to die, not him. I ain't nobody guard. I said, bitch, I was dying.
And what do you mean when you texted that?
I was in the garage with Tyrese one day, like just chilling, and one of his, I think that was his cousin, somebody older, and he gets a call from Julio, and he, I think, asked him to ride somewhere, and he tells the friend, like, at the phone, he goes, he said, I'm not riding nowhere with him. I'm not finna die. And I just sent it to him, and I'm like, well, I'm over here laughing about it.
And you said, Isaiah Chance, you did not know he was in a gang, is that correct?
I mean, I heard people say it, but when I asked him, he says he's not.
You also were aware of what happened at the town center, is that correct?
Yes, it's on the news.
Tell us what happened at the town center.
Some people died in a car leaving Wasabi.
Young and Ace, correct?
Got shot.
Young and Ace's group, is that correct? They were in that car.
His cousin and brother, I believe.
And he was the only one that survived, correct?
Yes.
His brother was killed.
I think that was his brother, yeah.
Person named 23, Royal Smith, killed.
Yes, ma'am.
And Isaiah Chance, he was upset about that, wasn't he?
I mean, I don't know if he's upset, but he would say he's heard about it sometimes.
That is something, a moment that he has shared with you intimately about what happened at the town center. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I mean, I already knew what happened, but he explained it to me like he don't like to go out there.
Correct, because 23 died at the town center.
Yeah, he believes it's violence out there. You don't want to go out there.
And he was upset about it, right?
I mean, I guess.
You had a conversation. You don't remember the conversation you had with him on your phone where you wanted to go do something at the town center?
Yeah, I believe I showed him a restaurant I wanted to go to.
That's you here, right? You want to go one day, question mark?
I think, is that him?
Oh, that's him, right?
That's him.
That's one of his old phone numbers, 904-575-7534.
Yes, that's his old number.
And he's like, I want to go one day. And you said, yeah, it's in the town center.
Yes.
And then what was your response?
I sent him a TikTok. I was responding to TikTok saying, laugh my ass off, bro.
And then what was his response?
He said, I hate it here. I hate it there.
Why would he hate it there?
I guess he's traumatized about it. Somebody you know died out there. You don't want to go out there.
And his next response to you?
He says, I don't like the town center.
And then what did you say?
I said, you hate everywhere. We don't got to sit down.
And then what did he respond to you?
He's telling me 23 got killed in the town center. That's why I don't like it out there.
And then what was his next
He said, I
response?
don't like thinking about it for real. So when I do switch moves, like an MF.
And what was your response to this texting conversation?
I said, well, we don't have to go there if it's gonna bother you. I forgot about it. It's some other places we both ain't tried yet.
So this is a conversation that you have had more than once with Isaiah Chance, isn't that true?
I think that's is it the one time?
You said
I
you
don't-
thought about it, right?
No, I'm saying I forgot that it happened in the town center because I've seen it on the news.
You knew who 23 was, right?
So when he referred to 23, yes, I knew of the person.
Knew that 23 is associated with Young and Ace, is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, I knew that.
He has confided in you about more than one death that occurred in this gang war. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I don't know more than one. Which one you referring to?
You know, Antonio Tilley died between October 6th and October 7th of 2023.
Yes, he told me his friend died.
He was traumatized by that, correct?
I mean, I wasn't around him to know if he was traumatized, but he
Didn't you
said he was sad, yeah.
Didn't you have a texting conversation with him October 7th of 2023 when he said that he was traumatized and that he was mentally not well, not right in the head?
I think I remember that conversation. I asked if he wanted me to be around him for, just
space,
more
right?
support. Yeah, but he didn't want me to come.
And you remember that conversation. He didn't want you around because he was not in the right headspace the day after his friend Tilly died, correct?
Yeah, I remember. I mean, who would be in the right space after their friend died?
And so much so that you agreed not to go see him, right?
Yeah, if he don't want me there, I'm not gonna go.
You were worried about him, right?
Yeah, but I know if he doesn't want me there, I'm not gonna just go.
And that was October 6th and 7th of 2023. Are you aware that Charles Jones, his life, there was an attempt on his life that occurred on October 7th of 2023, the day after his good friend Tilly was killed?
I've heard about it.
Heard about it from Charles Jones, right?
Yeah, I believe you went live or something.
Yeah, and in fact, not only did you hear about it from Charles Jones, you had conversations on your phone about it, and you assured him you would delete it, right?
Delete what?
Delete. I'm sorry. You had conversations with your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, about it, and you deleted the conversation, didn't you?
About what?
About what he had done.
He never told me he did anything. I don't remember.
Then let me ask you, with looking at messages with him on October 7th of 2023, refresh your recollection?
Every time I opened that spreadsheet, my soul left my body. I had to, but I switched to pipe drive.
You see that conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been in this trial, correct?
Yes.
You heard that the shell casings that was taken off of your boyfriend's best friend's Toyota 4Runner, that the ballistic matched the casings that were used to shoot at Julio Foolio, Charles Jones, on October of 2020, right?
Yes.
It's been tied to that ballistically, right?
Yeah, I've heard it.
And and it occurred the day after Tilly was killed.
Yes.
And he was torn up, and you guys had conversations about it. You and your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, had conversations about that. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yeah, he's telling me he's not himself right now. He needs space. He never told me he did anything.
Then what is it that you're referring to after he tells you to stay loyal, right? He tells you that. He texts that to you after that, after he said he needed some time on October 8th, now that we're talking, the
Yes.
day after Charles Jones, where they tried to take his life, right?
I mean,
He says to you, don't go run off normally, what you normally do, be loyal, stay loyal. That's what he said to you, right?
yes, and you're misinterpreting what he's saying. When he says stay loyal, he means don't go cheat. Because, I mean, I talk to who I want to talk to at times. When he's not paying me no attention, I feel like you ignore me, you're doing what you want to do, you're going to go talk to other people. So that's why he's telling me stay loyal, don't do what you normally do.
So when he's devastated because his friend died, and then he and his friend tried to kill their rival, what he's worried about is you staying loyal to him?
I mean, So,
Okay. And so what are you referring to when you say
When she said what?
direct response to that? You're saying, it's fine, you're all right now, it's somebody close to you, not a random person, so I mean it's normal to feel how you feel. I'm not bae, we're straight, we're just together, we're good. I deleted what you said, and I'm not texting nobody, even if you don't want to talk about it at the moment. So what exactly are you referring to that you deleted?
he told me to delete a message when somebody's texting me. It was a different guy.
So again, he's worried about you cheating. He didn't make any sort of confessions and confide in you as to what happened on October 2nd.
No, he didn't.
Overruled.
And so when you are with law enforcement and they are interviewing you and they bring up Charles Jones, Julio, and they specifically talk about this beef, you lie to them and act like you don't know nothing about that, right?
Yeah, he asked me if I had knowledge, like if I had, like I knew exactly who did what, who did what. Like, no, I don't have no direct knowledge. I know what's on the internet, but I didn't assume that's what he was asking me. I said no.
You know nothing about Julio, the big rapper, right?
I said I was on the internet. I don't know personally if it's true, who did what.
You know more than what is on the internet. Isn't that true, miss?
No, I actually don't.
You just read to the jury about different deaths
That's on the internet in our city. I don't know if it would be in Tampa, but Jacksonville is on the internet.
and also a person you know that's been shot, Will.
Yeah, I went to school with him, so I know.
Okay, so that's not just on the internet. That's something that you live through, right?
I didn't live through it. I mean, that's his situation. I just know about it.
And you're dating Isaiah Chance Gutta, right?
And when at that time,
And you know that his best friend, 23, has been killed.
I mean, okay, that's his friend. It's not my friend.
Okay. You're aware of it, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
And you know that Tilly has been killed.
Yes, that's his friend. That's not my friend.
Again, you are aware of it, right?
Yeah, it's on the internet.
Overruled.
And you know that Bibby has been killed.
Yeah, just like everybody else knows.
And you yourself know about it.
Yes, it's on the internet.
And law enforcement are informing you that they are asking you about the death of Charles Jones, Tampa, right?
Yes.
And they are talking to you and they are mentioning that they know the beef between these two groups, right?
Yes.
And your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, is connected to many of the people who have died in this rival gang war.
Yeah, he's connected, not me. So,
But you know about it.
yes, I know.
And you lied to law enforcement and withheld all that information knowing that they are investigating another death in this rival gang war, right?
I mean, in the beginning, they told me to talk about what I want to talk about. I don't have to talk about what I don't want to talk about. And I didn't want to be in the middle of that. I don't know for sure if any of these deaths for real. I looked on the internet. I don't know. I didn't answer it.
They read you your Miranda rights, right? They told you that before they read you your Miranda rights, right?
I don't know if it was before or not.
You didn't just watch this video?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was before, though.
They read you your Miranda rights and told you you had the right to remain silent, that you were in the driver's seat, right?
Yes.
They also informed you you could have an attorney present with you if you wanted to, right?
Yes.
And you chose to speak with them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I was there for, so I didn't have a problem speaking to them.
You didn't know what you were there for? They told you multiple times that you were there for the murder investigation of Charles Jones, right?
I'm saying as soon as it started, when I got arrested from my house, they said I had a warrant for resisting arrest. So that's what I was assuming I was going to jail for. I later ended up in a room with two guys. So I did sit there and talk.
Who told you what you were being questioned about?
Yeah, I had no issue. I can answer the question.
Then multiple times in that interview, they were trying to impart to you the seriousness of what you were being questioned about.
Yes,
You would agree with that statement. Multiple times they tried to reach you and let you know how serious these charges were.
yes,
And they asked you for details about who was involved, and they started showing you evidence.
yeah, they did.
And in that moment, you chose to protect your boyfriend. Isn't that true?
I want to say I protected him. I'm literally pointing him out, so it's not protecting him.
You never said that he was involved with the homicide, did you?
I didn't know if he's involved in it, so what I did.
You never said who or gave descriptions.
You know what? She not doing as bad as I thought she would, though. And I'm gonna say that because this prosecutor ain't that much better than the goddamn defense lawyer. I would have thought that she would have been pressing her a little bit better than this, but again, it's a little window here for Alicia to have tried to prove her innocence, and so I'm just not impressed with this line of questioning that the prosecutor is using. But I think they already got her, so maybe what I'm saying, she don't have to go as hard.
If you truly believed he had nothing to do with this homicide, then why wouldn't you just share information and tell them and give them descriptions, even if you didn't know their name, what they look like, and where they came from?
I mean, again, I didn't know for sure, so I didn't answer that. And I'm not about to do that job for him, put my life on the line, to be in the middle of that, so I didn't answer it. I answered everything pertaining to me. Anything about them, I didn't answer.
You didn't seem like you were afraid in that interview. Were you afraid in the interview or not?
I was, but I handled myself well.
Okay. You weren't afraid of Isaiah Chance?
No, he's not even in there, so why would I be?
So, well, then I don't understand. Were you afraid to give up their names because you're afraid of them? You're afraid of Isaiah Chance and Davian Murphy and Rashad Murphy? Or are you protecting them in that interview?
I want to say I'm not of that. I mean, you understand it's about a gang. I'm a female. I don't want to be in the middle of it, so I didn't answer it. And I don't know for sure if they did anything at the time of that, so I didn't say anything.
Then why are you up here testifying about how Isaiah Chance hit you?
Because, I mean, that leads up to why I act the way I act out of town.
You were afraid of him or not? Are you afraid of him? Does he beat you? And are you afraid to stand up to him?
Yes, at times.
And you said, I think you said in your direct examination, that people can't really understand because they don't know when you cannot leave. Is that what you said? Something to that
I
effect?
said people wouldn't understand a domestic violence relationship because you'll think, why don't you leave? Why don't you walk away? It's not that easy unless you're in it.
Man,
That's not exactly true.
where are the waterworks? Man, we need tears. We need tissue, like sobbing. Oh, I can't, you know what I'm saying? The inability to talk. Like, where is the performance? Like, man, she finna go to prison for the rest of her life, and she ain't absolutely no performance here. It's just straight up talking in court, like you got a chance to get off any other way. Like, fam, you better turn the waterworks on and get trying to performing real quick.
Who is it?
It is true.
You say cannot leave. You did not live with him, did you?
No, I didn't.
You never lived with Isaiah Chance.
No, I didn't. But he knew where I stayed. He would pop up at my house, ring the doorbell all the night. So I couldn't go nowhere. So
He never had financial control over you. He never paid your rent, did he?
I don't pay rent, so no.
You live with your parents.
Yes,
You live with two loving parents in a safe home. Isn't that true, Miss Andrews?
yes, I do.
And you never mentioned to your mother or your father that Isaiah Chance was hitting you or abusing you ever, did you?
I did.
You never reported it to police?
No, she asked me, but I didn't want to cause any problems with him and his family, so I left it alone.
So you had choices, didn't you?
That was the very last time, so I told them.
Are you afraid of him and do things because you are fearful of him? Is that what you testified to on direct?
Yes,
So fearful of him that you have to do everything he says. Is that correct?
at times, yes.
And you are claiming to this jury that you're not in a relationship with him anymore. Is that true, ma'am?
I'm not. I said he may think that because I never broke up with him, but
Do
I'm
you
not.
think that he thinks that because you still talk to him even though he is locked in jail, right?
Yes, I do still talk to him, and that's because of my issue. I don't want to cause any issues in his jail. He sends me verbal messages and where I'm at, so, I mean, I just keep him at ease. There's nowhere for me to go.
What safety issues? He is locked up for first-degree murder charges and cannot get to you. Isn't that true, ma'am?
I mean, you do know his ways in a jail. You send messages to people. People look at me sideways. Oh, that's your boyfriend? He said this. He told me to tell you this. Like, it's safety issues. Like,
You
literally before I came to trial, a deputy told me one of my co-defendants were trying to have me jumped. So I just do what I have to do.
You are also safely in jail. Is that true, ma'am?
I wouldn't say safely. You can get in a fight at any time.
Okay. There are all kinds of deputies. Is that correct?
Yes, all of them don't do the job also. So
And we're not talking about your safety from other people. We're specifically talking about your safety from Isaiah Chance, someone you claim to be so afraid of that you will go along and do anything for him, right?
I wouldn't do anything for him, but
You wouldn't go along in a murder plot for him?
no, he never told me anything about a murder plot.
And you wouldn't try to call him multiple times incorrectly from the jail, right?
What do you mean incorrectly?
You're not allowed to phone another inmate, can you?
I don't call him like that, so what do you mean?
You're right, you don't call him like that. You have to break policy of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and do some kind of three-way call involving Isaiah Chance's mother. Isn't that true?
Yeah, we do that.
You do it all the time, right?
Ah, damn, damn, damn. Now look, man. I thought it was gonna be something like this, man. Just bad. Now, why in the hell? In fact, how in the hell you can't talk to no damn co-defendant? Now, see, they was just letting them do it, obviously, so they can record it and use it. But come on, man, you can't call no. Why would we even call a co? That's why I say she's a rookie, fam. She don't know nothing about this shit. Hey, she's a rookie. This ain't her thing, man. This ain't what she do. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. You talking to your co-defendants from the jail.
Yes, when he asks for me, I do it.
As for you, you have to initiate your own phone call. He can't call you in the jail either, can he?
I said when he asks for me, I do it. If he tells me to call, I'm gonna call.
It's not just that he answers for you. You can't call him directly. Isn't that true, ma'am?
No, I can't.
You have to coordinate and you have to make arrangements with some third party who is not in jail so that you can talk to him. Isn't that true?
Yes, and like I said, it goes back to me keeping him happy. I don't want to cause any issues while I'm sitting here. If he gets mad, if I don't call him, it's no telling what he's going to say. I'm the odd one out of this. They can all turn around and say, oh, it was Alicia, and I'm getting in the middle of that. So I keep him happy while I'm here. If he wants me to call, if he wants to talk to me, let him know about the baby. He lets me know, I let him know I'm okay. That's what I do.
You call him 5 to 10 times a day in there.
Yes, when he says, call back, I call back.
And you also do messages. There's a kiosk system where you can kiosk with him. Isn't that correct?
Yes, he texts me and I text him.
And you have intimate conversations about your case, don't you?
Yes, when he asks, I let him know.
And he sends you messages which could be called sexting, right?
Yeah, he do. I keep him happy, like I said.
And you're no longer in a relationship with him, correct?
No, he thinks that.
And you call him multiple times a day, every day, for several months. Isn't that true?
Yes, like I said, I'm doing what I have to do. I'm not going to let him know. I'm not going to get on the phone and act like it's a change. I'm acting the same. I'm doing what I have to do.
Ma'am, you understand And you're on trial for first-degree murder, right?
Yes, I do.
And it's for hanging out with him.
I do.
And you are still protecting him, right? To this day, you're protecting him.
I'm not protecting him.
You are still calling him and communicating with him, aren't you?
Yes, that's not protecting him, though.
So that you call his mother, right?
I do.
And you have been advised, and you report to his mother that you don't care that your attorney tell you not to talk to him. You're going to do it anyway, right?
Yes, because I feel like that's the best way to do it.
So you are so desperate to talk to him and have communication with him, you don't even care if it may be hurtful to your case.
I wouldn't say desperate, because when I did disagree and listened, he texted me from another person and said, why are you not listening to me? Why are you not responding? When are you going to get it through your big red forehead? And all these other things. So I started back talking to him.
So now
Oh, mammy, I'd be in trouble if you left me now. I don't know where to get free love, and I just don't know how. Oh, mammy, what am I gonna do? I need you here, right here. And girl, you know nobody wants you.
This ain't pathetic, man. Like for real. Oh man. Shout out to the wife, man.
Now again, you're talking to him, you're still afraid of him, right? Even though he is locked up for first-degree murder charges and cannot go near you.
I didn't say physically to me. I'm talking about people.
You take advice from him, don't you?
I listened to it.
Discuss the case with you many, many times. Isn't that true?
Yes, because he knows I don't know, so he tries to make sure I know everything.
In fact, he tells you to kind of stay strong because the state thinks you're the weaker link. Has he told you that before?
Yes, he told me that.
Have you responded to him on, let's see. Recently is June 27th of 2025. Did you tell them half the witnesses are dead, you're listening to Jacksonville, and they don't solve shit? I'm just lost because this is all pointless.
Said what?
Did you say to him, half of their witnesses are dead, you're
Veterans' unique experiences fighting in harm's way and committing to serve something larger than ourselves
gives us a perspective on America's future that is unique to veterans.
Together, we can shape a better American future.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words,
you should do in your case, right? And
Yes, I told him, and that's my opinion. I don't understand why I'm here. It's really about them.
so you're still talking about what you're charged with him.
Yeah, he's aware, so I can say that.
And he tries to tell you what you should do in your case, right? And he tries to tell you what is the plan about the Airbnb. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yeah, and I don't control him, so he knows about what he wants to talk about.
Don't you say in response to him telling you all that, you don't got to say all that. Don't walk me through those stops. You did that, right?
Yeah, I stop him when he talks about the case because I already kind of know that. So he tries to let me know, and I already know.
It's not because you've already discussed discussed what you two are gonna say, that you're on some kind of vacation to Tampa.
No, we haven't.
That's not what you're referring
talked
to?
about that. No. He's talking about the girl in the Airbnb.
On July 5th, 2025, you didn't tell his mother that you made the defense attorney's investigator so mad because you told him you're not going to leave until you want to, and that they can't tell you who you can talk to, we're specifically referring to him. Isn't that true?
I was referring to people too, but him too.
Because you are not going to give him up. Isn't that true?
Like I said, I'm doing what I think I should do to keep him happy.
And that is calling him hundreds of times, multiple times a day.
Yes, you when he asks us, he says, "Can you call?"
To keep him happy. Hey, man, what is going on with this young girl, man? Why are you trying to keep a nigga happy that's locked up and you will never see again? What the hell is wrong with her? Like, what? Why?
Call. I need you to call. Are you okay? How are you? How's the baby?
So at some point, when I say you guys are off and on, there are times he doesn't want to talk to you. Isn't that true, ma'am?
At times.
And there are times that he blocks you, right?
Yes.
And right before, let's talk about June 17th of 2024, right? This is
Yes.
within a couple of weeks of this happening, right?
I think a couple of days. Yeah.
June 17th, 2024, he blocked you. So you got to resort to a text now chat, right? That's not a normal means of texting on iPhone, right? This is a special app. So sometimes he's ended communication and broken up, right?
Not broken up. He just goes off for a day or two.
And so can you read to the jury what it is you texted this person you're afraid of?
Oh, I said, bitch, you a sicko. Why you blocking me over a call I didn't even initiate? Trying to act like you mad, and I make people comfortable.
You need to speak, I'm sorry, Ms. Hughes, poor reporter's got to take down what you're
My
saying,
bad.
so you got to speak real slow, okay?
I said, bitch, you a sicko. Why you blocking me over a call I didn't even initiate? Trying to act like you mad, and I make people comfortable. I didn't do shit to make nobody feel comfortable. It was out the fucking blue. Why the fuck are you acting like it's my problem? You just wanted to have a reason to talk. I messed up when I was typing. To talk to other bitches you talk to. Everybody you come across, you fuck them up. You're not even mentally there and stable in the head for no relationship, even when I didn't do shit to your ass or start a conversation. You still fucking mad, the fuck. And then I said, and you acting like I'm not pregnant. You gonna talk to me one day, so I don't give a fuck about your attitude. And I said, bye, bitch.
So this reconciliation that you're talking about, this is what he is trying to stop communication with you, right?
This is one of the things he do. So when you say stop communication, he just disappears for a day. He doesn't even really mean it. He's gonna pop up the next day, be like, what you doing?
So you weren't trying to make this jury think when you first testified that there was domestic violence in your relationship, and this reconciliation was you trying to get back with him and him trying to reconcile with you because of something he did, right?
Wait, can you repeat it?
Yes, I can. You're not trying to make this jury believe that he was the one trying to reconcile with you after he hit you or something, are you?
I don't know what you mean by that pertaining to the message. I'm just cursing him out.
No, I said when you guys get back together, I thought you told the defense attorney on your direct that this was some kind of reconciliation trip. You guys was trying to get back together, right?
It was. After I sent that, he did eventually end up texting me, not on there, but he took my phone. We're back cool. We always do that.
And why is his little brother coming on this reconciliation with you?
I mean, I don't know that. That's something you have to ask him. I didn't know he was even going.
But you know when you were going, right?
Yes, he invited me, and I thought it was going to be us two.
And it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
And you get to an Airbnb and you're only there for a day.
Yes.
And you go nowhere except for 3 clubs. Is that correct?
Yeah, and McDonald's.
And again, not with him and Damian Murphy, right?
Yes.
So what exactly was planned for this trip where you two were going to get back together after fighting?
It wasn't necessarily get back together. It was just to spend time. I didn't have a plan. Oh, if we get down here, go here, go here. If we go out, we go out. If we don't, I would be fine with that too.
So now it's not a reconciliation trip.
No, we are getting back cool, but I'm saying it wasn't a big deal to go out nowhere. That was his decision.
You kind of just testified that he didn't spend any alone time with you that entire night, right?
He was up there, but eventually he would go his own way.
Okay. You said that he didn't go with you anywhere, and you did not go with him to when they first checked out teasers around 10. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was still in the bed at that time.
And you lied to law enforcement in that interview when you said it was just the 2 of you, right?
The 2 of us went. I mentioned Sean too.
You did, but that wasn't until later on in the conversation. When we first asked you about the Airbnb and the door, you specifically said, it's just me and him. Do you remember hearing that?
Yes, I did. Like when we first came in, it was just me and him.
So again, there was no planned story that if the 2 of you got caught, that it was going to be you and him on a romantic getaway.
We never talked about caught. There's nothing to get caught about because I didn't do anything.
So again, no conversation ahead of time if you were to get caught about what your story would be.
He never told me nothing about getting caught. He got interrogated. He came back and told me that's what happened. And then he said, you don't have to worry about that because we didn't do anything.
When did you have the conversation with him about his interrogation?
When it was the first time they searched his house.
Before you were interrogated by law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
So there was some discussion about what it is that law enforcement was going to be questioning in that interview, right?
He didn't mention the guy. He just said our trip out of town.
Okay. Such a coincidence, right? He mentions the trip out of town. You still aren't suspicious. You have still no idea a murder happened. But after he's arrested for not a homicide, just for what?
It was
resisting
arrest.
You guys are talking about the trip to Tampa.
I mean, not in detail. He just said the trip.
But he wasn't arrested in Tampa, was he? He was arrested in Jacksonville by Duval County Sheriff's officers. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes, but I'm saying after they arrested him, he let me know what it was for.
For leaving the scene, right?
No.
So what? Oh, for resisting arrest. Nothing that had to do in the charges of Tampa, right?
Well, they left a search warrant and it said the conspiracy thing on there and something else.
Jacksonville, Duval County left the conspiracy and murder charge up there.
I don't know if it was Jacksonville, but it was on one of the papers.
And so that's what led to a conversation of you all being down in Tampa. Is that correct?
Yeah, he just said it was about the trip to Tampa.
So when you testified to this jury that you had no idea why Tampa officers were pulling you in for that interview, you were lying up there on the stand?
It's not what I said. I mean, he didn't go in full detail about what they were coming to about Tampa. He just said the trip in Tampa.
You said you had no idea why these officers were pulling into that interview room. Isn't that what you just testified
because when
to?
they came to my house, they were coming for resisting arrest. So I didn't know why Tampa was coming to talk to me.
That's not what you just said, because you said after the resist charge, before your interview, you and your boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, were talking about what happened in Tampa.
That was way before. I mean, like when he got arrested.
So let's talk about some more lies you told law enforcement. You said that you could not remember how it was you got through the back door of the Airbnb, right? You have any memory issues?
No, I'm not slow.
Overruled, go ahead. I'm sorry, what was the answer?
I
Any
said
memory
no,
issues?
I mean, I'm not slow. What do you mean, memory issues?
Well, they're talking to you within a couple of months of you coming to Tampa, right?
Yes.
You don't come to Tampa every day, right?
No.
And you were with your boyfriend at this Airbnb, correct?
Yes.
You saw those videos of you at this front door. Can you take a look at the photo behind you?
And for
Yes.
the record, what are you showing her?
I'm showing her States Exhibit 60. You recognize this Airbnb?
Yes.
And you saw the other video, State 61, where you were on the Ring camera, right?
Yes.
You're only on that Ring camera entering this front door 2 times, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2 times.
On June 22nd of 2023.
Yes.
And then you are not on that door Ring camera at all, correct?
No.
And they don't just ask you about the front door. They ask you, you leave 2 times and come back, right?
Yes, I did.
You left and you went to the McDonald's with Davy and Murphy and your boyfriend's aunt, right?
Yes.
And you didn't go out this front door and you didn't come back this front door, right?
Right.
Can you take a look at the video, ma'am? This is to show you how it is you get to the back door of this Airbnb. This is the back door, right? This is how you would have to get in when you're going to the back door, right? You got to walk through the grass pathway. And then open this door, this gate, right? And then it takes you to the sliding glass doors, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They didn't just ask you about the front door.
Mm-hmm.
They asked you what door you got in when you came back from McDonald's, right? You didn't tell them. If you have nothing to hide, and we're just talking about an Airbnb, you didn't just say, I went through the back door, right?
Yeah, I didn't say it.
You lied, right?
I don't think I answered.
You said, I don't remember.
Yeah, and I probably was aggravated at the time.
But it's a lie, nonetheless, right?
Yeah.
Because certainly you're not going to make the jury believe that you going through some dark pathway in the middle of the night to leave and then get back is something that you're going to remember, right?
I mean, not necessarily. It wasn't a big thing to remember that day.
Even though you're being questioned on a first-degree murder charge, you can't even tell them that you just left the back door to go to McDonald's?
Yeah, but I'm saying I didn't really remember that, so, and I was aggravated, so.
It's a lie. You lied to law enforcement knowing they're investigating a first-degree homicide.
Yeah, but he was just asking me back, so I didn't see any relevance.
So it's okay to lie to law enforcement if you don't think it's relevant, right?
No.
Why are we admitting to lying? Like, what is going
You
on?
have no clue what they're doing, right? You see the 2 spots here?
Yes.
They're open, right?
Yes, they are.
Where's the Impala?
It's parked on the side.
Where on the side?
In one of the other spots they had on the side.
Close to where that back door is, that side parking lot where the back door is?
I don't remember if it was close. I think it was like in the.
They had some bags, right? You have a bag right there.
Yeah, my bad.
So when all of those bags and stuff are unloaded, except for yours, they have to go through that back pathway to load all of those heavy guns, right?
I mean, I can't answer that. I didn't see them carried in there.
And you didn't see Davy and Murphy in there either, did you?
Not when I first got them.
But eventually you did see him, right?
Yes, later on.
States Exhibit 38A. So again, you saw him at the Airbnb.
Yes.
He's staying at the Airbnb.
I mean, if you consider that staying.
You lied to law enforcement about there being any other individual at that Airbnb other than you, Isaiah Chance, and his little brother, right?
Yeah, I didn't answer anything about the other people.
I
So
mean,
that's
that's what I said, Blue. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, you're at the doorstep of snitching, but it's not even worth it to go ahead and snitch because you should have did it already. So she like stuck in that middle place where you're talking about the case, you're telling some of this shit, man, and she's still like she's too. I don't know, man. She's just too bold. Like I said, I don't like it. Like anybody would be, their voice would be cracking, playing the role, acting like they hurt. Like she just, whatever happens, happens. I ain't even tripping. Like damn. Shit.
be a member of 1200 or an associate of 1200 being at that Airbnb.
Yeah, I didn't want to answer anything about them, so I didn't answer.
Also not relevant, right?
I mean, I wouldn't know, so.
36A. You don't know who this is, right?
At the time I did, but I do now.
You rode in a car with him for 3.5 hours, right?
Yes, I also went to sleep. I didn't really look at it like that.
You have been to his house for a barbecue. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes.
He was introduced to you by your boyfriend of over 3 years, second family, right?
Yeah.
He introduced you to all of his family members, right?
I didn't say all of his family members.
You said he introduced you at that barbecue and said, "This is my second family," right?
Yes, but I don't know if that's his real family members.
So you're suggesting to this jury that when you are being introduced by your boyfriend to his family, that he posed some fake people next to him?
I'm saying I don't know if he was talking about everybody that was standing there. Could have been talking about particular people.
But certainly John Gathright was there, right?
Yes, ma'am, he was there.
And he's one of the people he's saying, "This is my second family," right?
No, he said his little brother too.
Part of his family. And then the rest of the people was his second family, right?
Yeah, he considered them second family.
And you care about Isaiah Chance?
I did.
And you would have us believe that after he introduced you to his little brother, his second family, you went off in some second room and never looked at his face?
I didn't go off to the second room. I just got a plate and went back to the car.
You hid in the car, right?
I don't really talk much, so I got back in the car.
Oh, so you never had a conversation with him?
No, I just said I hid behind.
And you can't tell that this
She in bed.
You ever go down one of those ancestry rabbit holes at like midnight? Like you're trying to find out where your great-grand...
3.5.
No, I just said I hid behind.
And you can't tell that this person in 36A is the same person in 36B?
I mean, at the time, I didn't really look at him. I just glanced at the picture. I said no.
And in the entire 3.5 car ride, you never looked at his face either?
I'm not steering him down, so I mean, no.
And at the entire time that you're at the Airbnb with him, you never looked at his face or had one conversation with him?
I didn't have a conversation with him, but I maybe glanced.
You were walking next to Isaiah Chance at Teasers. You were walking next to him at that parking lot when he was at Truth 18. I'm not going to play the videos again. You saw that. You guys were walking right next to him.
If you consider that right next to him,
Some points you were a little behind him, is that correct?
yes.
And some points you were right next to him, isn't that correct? And there were points when he has that phone, your phone, up to his ear.
Yeah, at certain points.
And at one point, when he has it up to his ear, he has to give it to you so you can do what?
Put the code in. That was the first club.
And that's right, put the call in, right? There is a call that is happening, and
I said the code.
the code. But there is a call happening. He's actually on the phone, right?
At the first club, he attempts to make a call, yeah.
Attempts, right? It's literally up to his ear.
Yeah, I don't think it went through.
What she thought she was gonna go ahead and tell it off. She said, put the call in. Hey, she was gonna try to take her down through there. It was gonna be all over with right there, fam. She was gonna jam her up right there. She said, put the call in.
Because you're right next to him, you would know, right?
No, I mean, he didn't say anything, so that's why I said I don't think it went through.
And at some point, he hands it to you so you can do what?
I mean, I didn't put the code back in after that.
Just the one time?
Yes.
It didn't go off any other time that you were with him from the entire time to teasers, to Truth 18?
I mean, later on, I think, yeah. At the next club, yeah.
What about in the car?
No, and the car was still unlocked.
And you never heard him utter one word on that phone while you were next to him in the parking lot at Teasers?
Teasers just the first club, right?
Yes, ma'am.
No, he didn't say anything.
And he never said one thing the entire time when you guys are sitting in that parking lot at Teasers at the same point when Charles Jones is there.
He said something, but he didn't say anything about him.
What did he say?
He just was saying how all the people are just standing there, standing around.
He never had one phone call?
And he tried to call, but I don't know. Again, I don't know if he went through.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 94C1. You see this when he's on the phone actually sharing a live location with Sean Gathright that's occurring at 2 a.m. You see that?
Yes, ma'am.
He does that multiple times. So he has your phone a lot in that car, right?
Yes.
And so anytime there's inactivity on the phone, you gotta do what for him?
Unlock it, but he never locked it back. If he didn't respond, he just went and got on something else.
He doesn't lock the phone, right? That's something that happens automatically based on time, right?
Yes.
When that phone locks up in the parking lot, it's not because he locked it, it's because there's a timing mechanism on your iPhone that makes it go dark, right?
I mean, yeah, but the first time he got the car, it's my phone. He stopped me and asked for it, so it's not unlocked when he asks for it.
And then at some point, he starts texting NIGGA, pick up the FNO. He says that he doesn't text it just once at 2:31. He sends this text again at 2:31 and 24 seconds.
And so again, let me take this time out to remind people. If you're going to go commit a crime, fam, let's not take our phones, use our phones to communicate. I mean, how many people got to go down based on their phone for motherfuckers to stop using their phones in the commission of a crime? You can't even have your phone nowhere around you. Okay. I don't understand it. It's like people don't get it. If you're going to do some dirt, fam, why are there phones there? Why do you have the chip with you? The GPS tracking device is in your pocket, you moron. I'm just saying, fam, you're going on a hot ass move all out of time like this, and y'all got every way of tracking you from the goddamn highway to your own cell phone, license plate readers. You're dumb.
He wants somebody to pick up that effing phone. Are you claiming when he's texting that, he's not saying anything to you?
No, not that.
Do you see him desperately going like this?
No, not like he rushing. He just regularly typing.
He just casually texts,
yes.
Pick up the effing phone. Twice.
Yeah.
And that was something that if he had done it very erratically, you would have noticed, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't.
That might have tipped you off that something pretty important was happening, right?
I mean, if you say so.
So he's just casually typing that in, and then he's sharing the location again later, 2 hours later. But after this exchange, he never gets a phone call. There's no conversation in that car.
I don't remember him having a conversation there.
But he's not sending one other text after he desperately texts that twice, right?
I don't think he did.
You don't think, or you're not willing to tell?
What he texts, so.
And you don't remember or hearing him have any conversation in that car?
Not right there, no.
And you remember Detective Ramos when he was sitting next to you and he was kind of acting out what he thought happened after he saw the video footage and some of the messaging, that he's right next to you in that car and he's saying, he's sitting this close to you, right? He's in the driver's seat, right?
Yes.
And you are in the passenger seat, right?
Yeah.
Remember that exchange? And he kind of imitates and acts out, hey, get here, get here. He's going into the club now. You better get here now. That you're claiming something like that never happened.
No, I told you what he said.
Okay.
Only time he said something was when he flipped the camera and said it was packed and where y'all at.
Do you also remember, oh, so now they said where you're all at, right?
I'm talking about when he took the picture on the screenshot. That's what I said he said.
Okay. Did you know who he was talking to?
I mean, no, but I assumed it was his friends.
Do you remember when law enforcement specifically asked you about the black Chevy Impala?
Yes, ma'am.
That black Chevy Impala happened to be at the Home to Suites, correct?
I mean, yeah, but at the time I didn't know that.
You didn't see the black Chevy Impala when your boyfriend was circling around the parking lot, not once, but twice?
No, I didn't see that car.
That was a car that you had ridden down to Jacksonville with Sean Gathright, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't recognize that car in the parking lot?
I mean, I'm gonna know it's them though. I don't know if it's them.
So just a coincidence that you happened to be at Home to Suites, right?
I mean, I'm not driving, so I can't tell you why he went there.
You got out of the vehicle with Isaiah Chance at both of those clubs, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said on your direct examination that you went up to the bouncers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lie, right?
I wasn't referring to those clubs. I was referring to the Players Club.
The detectives never mentioned the Players Club to you in that interview, right?
No, he showed me a video of a parking lot, so I just assumed it was that club.
He showed you the video of the two of you walking out of that club, correct?
No, he showed me a parking lot, the first video when I said that.
He also showed you Julio, is that correct?
He did.
At the front door.
I believe he did.
And they specifically asked you at Teasers and at Truth 18, the two clubs that you went to, whether or not you had talked to the bouncers, right?
I think he did ask me.
And you said that you had spoken to them at both and that the price was too high, correct?
Again, I was talking about Players Club. I had the clubs mixed up at the time. I didn't know the names, and I didn't say specifically that. I said I talked to the bouncer, the guys that be at the front door.
And there's no footage at Players Club, right?
No. I said no.
You know that there's no video footage at Players, right?
I mean, if he would have investigated it, he found it.
And there is video footage at Teasers and Truth 18, correct?
Yeah, because that's all the detective went and looked for.
And you admit that you never went to any of the bouncers at Truth 18, right?
No, again, when I bring up the bouncers, I was referring to Players Club.
So you and your boyfriend on your reconciliation trip just went to walk in the parking lot of Teasers, right?
Teasers is the first club?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all you did, right? You just walked in the parking lot. You didn't even come close to the front door.
I mean, yeah, we were standing there, but it's his decision. He didn't want to go in there, so.
And you have no say in the matter on your reconciliation trip, whether or not you actually get to go into the club?
I mean, I didn't have an issue with it. If he didn't want to go, he didn't want to go.
So you're just happy on this trip to get back together with just walking in the parking lot?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, then you go to the second club, Truth 18. That's the club with the second story on the second floor.
Yes, ma'am.
And that same thing happens. You just walk in the parking lot, right?
Yeah, man, I'm following him.
Yeah. You don't even really walk up to the door. And it's at the same point when Charles Jones is at that location.
Man, I didn't know he was there, so.
But you're okay just walking in the parking lot, right?
No, actually, I was irritated. I didn't really care to go in that when he chose the last club. After he took me to 2 locations, we didn't go anywhere. At that point, I am aggravated, so.
Well, you said they didn't go in because it was packed, right?
That he said.
Well, there was, at the time when you're walking on that video, there aren't tons of people in that parking lot, right?
It was people parked on the side as well.
You don't even walk up those stairs to see how many people are inside, right?
We went by how many cars are outside.
So that's the definition of how a car is, or how a club is packed, by the cars, right?
I mean, to young people, yeah.
You said the next morning that you were, that Charles Jones, I'm not Charles Jones, that Isaiah Chance, the one time he did come in, it was to what? So you could look at his outfit, give an outfit check?
Yeah, he was showing me various outfits, laying around the bed. He said she could put back on what he had on because he didn't take any pictures. And that's what we were talking about.
Because he knows how he looks like, right?
Sometimes.
He got into a war with Foolio online because Foolio was making fun of him for his fake designer clothes, right?
I didn't know
that. You didn't know that, dog. Come on, man. I know that. I mean, actually, I know all this shit. Like, we've been doing content on this ATK KTA 1200 NHG 6-block war for years. Okay. So I actually have those pictures in videos and shit. And yeah, Julio used to clown him and shit for wearing fake shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how the young niggas do it, like zoom in on his watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fake. You know what I'm saying? But like, he constantly was doing it to him. So you don't know that niggas on the internet like messing with your boyfriend saying his clothes shit fake. Like, come on, man.
It was making fun of him wearing fake designer clothes, right?
I didn't know of that.
You had no idea about that? But he is doing an outfit check with you because he's concerned about it.
Things happen here.
Outfit check is crazy. And then to frame it around that, you know what I'm saying, doing an outfit check and frame it around the fact that Foolio be roasting him, that's crazy work. Because it ain't like she lying. There's no reach there. That really was happening. Foolio was clowning him about his clothes.
About that?
No.
But he is doing an outfit check with you because he's concerned about it, right?
I mean, not really. He's just saying, what do you think I should wear? Like a regular person.
And the two of you, you said you're going clubbing, right?
I mean, supposed to be.
Right. And how do you up when you go clubbing?
I mean, this will be our second time going clubbing, so he wears whatever he wants to wear. When I go, I just wear whatever I want to wear.
You just kind of said that you're very controlling about what you wear on your direct examination. And as a young woman, when you go clubbing, you get dressed up, right?
Yeah.
In fact, on your phone, you had hundreds of photographs on your phone and videos of yourself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
He was wearing, it was June in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
He was wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt with the hoodie all the way pulled up and a COVID mask.
Okay.
To go clubbing.
He don't really go out, so I don't know what he would typically wear.
And you were wearing what?
Put on a jeans.
Ah, man, come on, dog. Said he got on the gray hoodie with the hood all the way put up with the COVID mask to go clubbing. All right. It's starting to sound bad now.
Know what he would typically wear.
And you were wearing.
Act reasonably toward others. If there is a violation of that duty without any conscious intention to harm, that violation is negligence. But culpable negligence is more than a failure to use ordinary care toward.
Why just skip forward all that far like that? What's going on?
Following three elements beyond a justifiable deadly force is lawful. If you and the defendant have now rested their case, shortly
What just happened? Like how the video just jumped to a whole nother video. That's what's going on, fat? So she just off the stand somehow like that's weird, bro. Like what just happened? How did it just click to another video? Let me see. That's weird. I like literally sitting
darkness, a unique place.
This shit, and it somehow just
is comprised of spiritual energy and a physical energy. It is a place that
that was weird.
reasonably should have known was likely to cause death or great bodily.
Was there a recess? And then the video
Was to do this one mission.
Yeah, it must have been a recess and then the video ended or something like, I don't know what's going on here. Let me see if I can find where it just cut me off at, because she was still testifying. That wasn't the end of her testimony. I don't know if the video ended so they kicked me out of it or something. Let me see. Let me look, y'all, because that did look like they started a new video. While I look and see what's going on here, it looked like they just restarted the video or something. But how's everyone doing today? Hope everybody's having a great day. All right, let's see. Day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8. So what just happened, fam? Yeah, because I don't know what's going on, right? I have no idea what's going on. For some reason, this video is coming all the way back to the beginning, and it looks like the end of her testimony, but this ain't the beginning of the video from this morning. But this is the video from this morning because it says it started streaming 6 hours ago. But how did you start streaming 6 hours ago and there's only 30 minutes of content on the screen right now? That's wild. I wonder if they're gonna take that and repost it separately, and so they just cut it live, because that was weird. And like I say, I'm literally not at the video, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not the beginning of her testimony. Let's see where this is now, man.
Right with you.
all right.
Walked back. Oh. Table. Good. Let's have Ms. Andrews walked back to the defense table. And do you anticipate calling any other witnesses? Oh, okay. Very good. I'll have you rest in front of the jury. State, do you anticipate any rebuttal?
Yeah, they're gonna do closing arguments and shit, man. That's crazy. I wanted to hear all of that, but it looked like
And she lied to law enforcement about it. That was to do this.
Yeah, I guess I might as well listen to the closing arguments. I mean, I'm kind of pissed off that they cut off her testimony, because I would have liked to heard the rest of it. It ain't like she was like going like make some spectacular save. I would have liked to heard it, but Let's close.
True for the conspiracy. There is no evidence that Miss Andrews conspired with any of her co-defendants. She didn't know two of them at all, barely knew one of them, and the only one she didn't know was her boyfriend. Again, zero evidence that Miss Andrews did anything to conspire with her co-defendants in this case to kill an individual. There's no evidence that she knew anyone was going to be killed. There's no evidence that she intended for anyone to die. There's no evidence that she committed any act that would further a conspiracy or a plot to murder Charles Jones.
Any state response?
Judge, again, there is overwhelming evidence in this case, beyond and to the exclusion of all reasonable doubt, that the defendant and her co-defendants conspired to commit this first-degree murder of Charles Jones, that there was planning, that there was premeditation, and that is the sole reason that all of them traveled here to Tampa, was to do this one mission. The video evidence is direct evidence. The hunting and stalking of the victim in this case is captured on video at 3 separate locations. There is coordination between both videos. The defendant is the one, her device, she is providing that device as coverage for her boyfriend. She's protecting him, so if this is investigated, that he will not be caught or found. So there is a specific purpose. She is being used as coverage as well as part of the surveillance team, so he is not alone walking in that parking lot at both of those locations. She is the one who tried to book the Airbnb together for them at Tampa. It is clear that messaging that she's booking it for us is the language that she is using. It is being booked for one day. They are booking it at a location that is close where the victim is going to be. She's not even with the defendant when that first attempt is made. And she lied to law enforcement about it. That is consciousness of guilt. She continually lied, specifically about the Airbnb, first asked about it. She said no. This is an interview that only happened within a month or so of this crime. There is no reason she would not know exactly what those law enforcement officers were talking about. It's not until they tell her they have the phone message that she says, oh yeah, I did try to book it. I tried to get half off. It is very clear there is overwhelming consciousness of guilt evidence in this case, where she is purposely trying to evade law enforcement. It's very clear from the phone evidence where she is gotten rid of her phone and she is talking to her a friend or her sister back at home watching the house, where she knows law enforcement is looking for her, that they have her device, and she's making fun that law enforcement doesn't really have the old device. Judge, all of that is consciousness of guilt. She is an active participant. She helped Isaiah Chance stalk that victim at multiple locations. Before they stalked him and hunted him down at the final location, and her and the defendant circled around the victim before the assailants came out and hunted him down.
All right, deny the second motion for G.O.A. There's enough evidence to go to the jury. Here is a copy of the final set of jury instructions, so I need you all just to quickly take a look at them, make sure there's no last minute corrections we need to make, and then we'll come back in and do closing arguments.
I mean, I guess they gotta try to like get it dismissed, but I'm saying there was never a chance of that happening. There was never a chance in hell that this was going to be dismissed. Not one.
Murder. Alicia Andrews is accused of murder in the first degree and conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree in counts 1 and 2. Murder in the first degree includes the lesser crimes of murder in the second degree and manslaughter, all of which are unlawful. However, a killing that is excusable or was committed by the use of justifiable deadly force is lawful. If you find that Charles Jones was killed by Alicia Andrews, you will then consider the circumstances surrounding the killing in deciding if the killing was murder in the first degree, murder in the second degree, or manslaughter, or whether the killing was excusable, resulting from justifiable use of deadly force.
Oh.
Justifiable homicide. Killing of a human being is justifiable homicide and lawful if necessarily done while resisting an attempt to murder or commit a felony upon the defendant.
I mean, she looked like she know it too. I mean, that is a damn. I just testified. I still don't feel no better. I'm through.
Or to commit a felony in any dwelling house in which the defendant was at the time of killing. Excusable homicide. The killing of a human being is excusable and therefore lawful under any one of the following three circumstances. 1, when the killing is committed by accident and misfortune in doing any lawful act by lawful means with usual ordinary caution and without any unlawful intent. Or 2, when the killing occurs by accident and misfortune in the heat of passion upon any sudden and sufficient provocation. Or 3, when the killing is committed by accident and misfortune resulting from a sudden combat if a dangerous weapon is not used and the killing is not done in a cruel or unusual manner. Dangerous weapon is any weapon that, taking into account the manner in which it is used, is likely to produce death or great bodily harm. I now instruct you on the circumstances that must be proved before Alicia Andrews may be found guilty of murder in the first degree or any lesser included crime. Murder in the first degree, count 1. To prove the crime of first degree premeditated murder, the state must prove the following three elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Number 1, Charles Jones is dead. 2, the death was caused by the criminal act of Alicia Andrews. 3, there was a premeditated killing of Charles Jones. An act includes a series of related actions arising from and performed pursuant to a single design or purpose. Killing with premeditation is killing after consciously deciding to do so. The decision must be present in the mind at the time of the killing. The law does not fix the exact period of time that must pass between the formation of the premeditated intent to kill and the killing. The period of time must be long enough to allow reflection by the defendant. The premeditated intent to kill must be formed before the killing. The question of premeditation is a question of fact to be determined by you from the evidence. It will be sufficient proof of premeditation if the circumstances of the killing and the conduct of the accused convince you beyond a reasonable doubt of the existence of premeditation at the time of the killing. Second degree murder, lesser as to count 1. To prove the crime of second degree murder, the state must prove the following.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base 4.
2, the death was caused by the criminal act of Alicia Andrews. 3, there was an unlawful killing of the victim by an act eminently dangerous to another and demonstrating a depraved mind without regard for human life. An act includes a series of related actions arising from and performed pursuant to a single design or purpose. An act is eminently dangerous to another in demonstrating a depraved mind if it is an act or series of acts that 1, a person of ordinary judgment would know is reasonably certain to kill or do serious bodily injury to another, and 2, is done from ill will, hatred, spite, or an evil intent, and 3, is of such a nature that the act itself indicates an indifference to human life. In order to convict of second-degree murder, it is necessary for the state to prove the defendant had an intent to cause death. Manslaughter, lesser as to count 1. To prove the crime of manslaughter, the state must prove the following two elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Number 1, Charles Jones is dead. 2, Alicia Andrews intentionally committed an act or acts that caused the death of the victim, or B, the death of the victim was caused by the culpable negligence of Alicia Andrews. Every person has a duty to act reasonably toward others. If there is a violation of that duty without any conscious intention to harm, that violation is negligence. The defendant cannot be guilty of manslaughter by committing a negligent act, or if the killing was either justifiable or excusable homicide, as I have previously instructed you. In order to convict of manslaughter by act, it is not necessary for the state to prove that the defendant had an intent to cause death, only an intent to commit an act that was not merely negligent, justified, or excusable, and which caused death. I will now define culpable negligence for you. Each of us has the duty to act reasonably toward others. If there is a violation of that duty without any conscious intention to harm, that violation is negligence. But culpable negligence is more than a failure to use ordinary care toward others. In order for negligence to be culpable, it must be gross and flagrant. Culpable negligence is a course of conduct showing reckless disregard of human life or of the safety of persons exposed to its dangerous effects, or such an entire want of care as to raise a presumption of a conscious indifference to consequences, or which shows wantonness or recklessness, or a grossly careless disregard for the safety and welfare of the public, or such an indifference to the rights of others as is equivalent to an intentional violation of such rights. The negligent act or omission must have been committed in utter disregard for the safety of others. Culpable negligence is consciously doing an act or following a course of conduct the defendant must have known or reasonably should have known was likely to cause death or great bodily harm. Criminal conspiracy count 2. To prove the crime of criminal conspiracy, the state must prove the following two elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Number one, the intent of Alicia Andrews was that the offense of first-degree murder would be committed. 2, in order to carry out intent, Alicia Andrews agreed, conspired, combined, confederated with Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Rashad Murphy, or Deion Murphy, or other diverse persons to cause the first-degree murder to be committed either by them or one of them or by some other person. It is not necessary that the agreement, conspiracy, combination, confederation to commit first-degree murder be expressed in any particular words or that words pass between the conspirators. It is necessary that the defendant do any act in furtherance of the offense conspired. Principles. If the defendant helped another person or persons commit a crime, the defendant is a principal and must be treated as if she had done all the things the other person or persons did if the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt, 1, the defendant intended the crime to occur, 2, the defendant did some act or said something that was intended to and that did incite, cause, encourage, assist, or advise the other person or persons to actually commit the crime. To be a principal, the defendant does not have to be present when the crime is committed. For first-degree premeditated murder, the state must prove the defendant intended that the killing of Charles Jones occur. For second-degree murder, it is not necessary for the state to prove the defendant intended the death of Charles Jones. It is not necessary for a principal to know every detail of how a first-degree murder or any lesser degree of first-degree murder will be committed, as long as the principal intended the first-degree murder or lesser degree of first-degree murder to occur, and did some act or said something that was intended to help and did help the first-degree murder or lesser degree of first-degree murder to occur. To be found guilty of first-degree murder with a firearm or any lesser degree of first-degree murder with a firearm or weapon as a principal, it is not necessary for the state to prove a defendant knew another participant of the first-degree murder or any lesser degree of first-degree murder would be or was armed. For count 1 of the indictment, the state must prove that the crime was committed on June 23, 2024, between 1:40 a.m. and 7:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time within a 3-mile radius of 11606 McKinley Drive, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida. For count 2 of the indictment, the state must prove that the crime was committed between June 21, 2024 and June 23, 2024. The place where crime 2 of the indictment occurred was within a 10-mile radius of Interstate Center Drive and Clark Road, Jacksonville, County of Duval, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 13751 Victoria Lakes Drive, Jacksonville, County of Duval, State of Florida, and or within a 10-mile radius of 301 Caravan Circle, Jacksonville, County of Duval, State of Florida, and within a 3-mile radius of 3703 Gazebo Pond Lane, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 419 East Bush Boulevard, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 9700 North Nebraska Avenue, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida, and or within a 3-mile radius of 11606 McKinley Drive, Tampa, County of Hillsborough, State of Florida. All right, State, you wish to proceed forward with your closing argument.
Yes, Your Honor, may I please support defense counsel?
Yeah, she on verdict watch, man. I'm like, I don't know, man. I believe they could have done a lot better for her defense than this. I just don't. I don't think she has a shot. Jury ain't gonna take that long. I mean, again, I just thought that she would have a fight in this. This is kind of cut and dry. You know what I'm saying?
Members of the jury, Charles Jones was a prominent drill rapper out of Jacksonville, Florida. He was known as Julio Foolio, Six, the Big Rapper. He had drill raps on Instagram, on YouTube. He had millions of hits and followers. He was well known in Jacksonville. They hunted him. They stalked him, they found him, they targeted him, and they gunned him down. That is the only reason all 5 of those individuals were here in Tampa, Florida on June 22nd, and then the early morning hours of June 23rd of 2024. Defendant, Alicia Andrews, seated over there, along with her fellow co-defendants, her fellow co-conspirators, Rod Murphy, Davian Murphy, Sean Gathright, and her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance. That is the only reason they came down to Tampa, was for that one specific purpose, to hunt and gun down Charles Jones. This was a rival gang war that has been going on in Jacksonville for years and years. You have seen those drill rap videos. You have seen the type of videos that they are. And Charles Jones came down to Tampa to celebrate his birthday with friends. Charles Jones had posted online drill rap videos disrespecting the other side, disrespecting ATK, disrespecting members of 1200. The other side did the same thing. You saw those videos from Young and Ace, and the ones produced from ATK, and the ones produced by 1200. Both sides made fun of other members that have been gunned down in this horrific gang war that has been going on in Jacksonville for years. And one of the songs that Charles Jones made was When I See You, specifically making fun of the town center shooting where Young and Ace was shot and his little brother killed, and 2 other members of their group were killed, including someone who went by the name of 23, who was close to Isaiah Chance, the defendant's boyfriend of over 3 years. They had had intimate conversations about this rival gang war that had occurred.
Overruled.
They had had, the evidence shows, her messaging on her phone shows that she had had conversations with Charles Jones where she had been told by him about these deaths. They discussed the town center and how he could not go there anymore because what had happened at the town center. That is where 23 was killed. That is where Young and Ace was shot multiple times. There had been conversations on October 8th between her and her boyfriend, Charles Jones. You know what happened on October 7th. Charles Jones was shot. There was an attempt on his life in Jackson.
What? What are you talking about, dog? Like what? Like she fucking up, ain't she? I thought I misheard her the first time. No, she is mixing the names up.
Conversations on October 8th between her and her boyfriend, Charles Jones. You know what?
Yeah, that Charles Jones is Foolio. The fuck is she talking about?
8th between her and her boyfriend, Charles Jones. You know what happened on October 7th. Charles Jones was shot. There was an attempt on his life in Jacksonville. And you have seen ballistic evidence in this case that ties the people in this murder and this conspiracy directly to the attempt on his life in October of 2023. Sean Gathright, who is the arms person, who is the arms supply person, who supplies the weapons, who has the weapons and takes them away and transports them in the Chevy Impala and then transports them in the Toyota 4Runner and then eventually to his house. When he gets stopped in that Toyota 4Runner, there are rifle shell casings that are tested and compared to the shell casings that are collected from the October 2023 attempted murder, aggravated battery of Charles Jones that happens in Jacksonville, Florida. And it is the same gun that fires those shell casings, the ones that are found in SeanGathright's vehicle and the ones that are found at the attempted murder scene of Charles Jones in October and 2023. They tried to kill him before and were not successful. And you heard that Charles Jones got on the internet and posted video on the internet and taunted them after it happened, saying that they didn't get him. They planned to murder him, and this time they were not going to miss. This is a well-orchestrated, planned, first-degree, premeditated murder. State's Exhibit 22. This is at the Home to Suites. And we put many clips together, but this is Charles Jones, and this is his black Dodge Charger parked in front of the Home to Suites. And his girlfriend is behind him in her car. And you can clearly see that he is seated in the front passenger seat of that Dodge Charger. In the second clip, you're going to see at this location, this is the first time that black Chevy Impala carrying 3 armed and covered gunmen into that parking lot, and they don't go in front of where Charles Jones' vehicle is. You see them turn to the right. They are avoiding the line of sight of Charles Jones. They want to make sure that they get him. They never pull into the line of sight of Charles Jones and his party. Charles Jones now is laying in that front passenger seat with his feet up. The next clip that you see in State's Exhibit 22 is of the car pulling up of his friend. That's Typha McCrae, and in his vehicle is Camilla Bentley and Aaliyah Albritton. They pull up next. That's the next thing that happens in the sequence of events. The black Chevy Impala has already pulled in. It is now circling the parking lot so it can stay out of view. The next clip you're going to see is Typha McCrae and girlfriend, Aaliyah Albritton, get out and go to the bathroom. Camilla Bentley gets into the front passenger seat. The next sequence is the silver Chevy Cruze. We all know who is in the silver Chevy Cruze. It is the defendant along with her good boyfriend, Isaiah Chance. They circle, they don't go to the right, they directly go by the cars of the victim and the victim's party. These cars that they are very well familiar at this point, because they have seen these cars at two other locations. They saw it first at Teasers and they saw it at Truth 18. It is not a coincidence that the silver Chevy Cruze followed them to this location and then pulls off into another parking lot while it waits for that black
too much evidence.
They don't go to the right. They directly go by the car of the victim and the victim's party. These are cars that they are very well familiar at this point, because they have seen these cars at two other locations. They saw it first at Teasers and they saw it at Truth 18. It is not a coincidence the silver Chevy Cruze followed them to this location and then pulls off into another parking lot while it waits for that black Chevy Impala with the three armed and masked gunmen to get there. They are waiting for the gunmen to get there. And when the black Chevy Impala gets there, they come and they directly look for the victim and the victim's vehicles. Again, State's Exhibit 22, you're going to see that silver Chevy Impala with the defendant and her boyfriend circle around, and they are going to the exact area where the black Chevy Impala is. The second clip, after they have gone to where that black Chevy Impala is and the black Chevy Impala has parked, they then are now leaving, and they again are going for a direct line of sight where the victim and his friends are parked and sitting in their cars. State's Exhibit 22, you're going to see at this very moment, they can see where the victim is. That silver Chevy Cruze is passing where the victim is seated in that passenger seat. They are the eyes. They are the surveillance tracking team of this mission. And make no mistake, this is a mission. The assault hit team is the black Chevy Impala with three armed and masked men. Two of the men are having assault rifles. Their faces are covered. One of them has all black. The other has a white ski mask. And then the third shooter has a Glock with a switch that makes it a fully automatic gun and a weapon. You're going to see in this next clip that the first person to fire is the person with the firearm. And it's very clear what person they are shooting at, what person they are targeting. They are targeting the victim, who is the passenger in the black Chevy Impala. They don't care about any of those other cars that flee and crash. In this next clip, you're going to see that they are specifically targeting the victim. They follow his car. They continue to fire upon his car. That is the only car that they're interested in, because the person who has taunted them, the person who they unsuccessfully tried to kill months ago, survived. And now they are going to ensure that he dies. State Exhibit 22. They are heavily armed. They are prepared. They are masked. They brought artillery with them.
See, this is bad, man, because like for real, like I say, you're in this as a person who's involved in everything, but you ain't jump out, you ain't shoot none, you ain't do none of that part of it. You're gonna be charged like you did. This is why you shouldn't be on no mission like this for real. Like, I just don't think she thought that she was gonna get caught. I guess he sold her some type of plan that, she felt good about. I don't know, because my initial thought was there was a possibility that she's innocent, but I don't. Like, bruh, she too nonchalant. She cool as hell in the courtroom. I'd have seen people more concerned about a traffic ticket than what she seems to be concerned for this imp. So, yeah, she cooked, man.
Are ready to kill Charles Jones. They didn't just kill Charles Jones. When they came to Tampa and they shot that parking lot, there were many victims. There were 2 people that were in that car with Charles Jones. Xavier Edwards was shot. You see his injuries in this photograph. Gino Norris was shot, not in a gang. Law enforcement very clear on that. Another victim in this crime. Camille Bentley also shot, not in a gang. They didn't care who they hurt. They just wanted to kill Charles Jones. They weren't the only victims in this case. They shot up a public parking lot in a hotel that had guests, that had families, that had people that were dropping off their children at University of South Florida, that is just across the street from Fowler Avenue, the other road that intersects McKinley, where those hotels are. They shot up hotel rooms that had families in it, husband and wives and children. They didn't care who they hurt. Their focus was on Charles Jones, and they wanted to make sure that they killed him. In order to prove murder in the first degree, the judge just read to you what those instructions are. This is what the state has to prove: that Charles Jones is dead. That element, we only have to prove 3 elements beyond and to the exclusion of reasonable doubt. Charles Jones is dead. That has been proved beyond a reasonable doubt. The death was caused by the criminal act of Alicia Andrews. That has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. There is a mountain of evidence, and we're going to talk about the principal instruction, because she is a principal to this crime, and you treat her as if she had done everything her fellow co-defendants did. You put her in exactly the same shoes. She is criminally responsible for everything that her fellow co-defendants did in this particular case, and that there was a premeditated killing of Charles Jones. An act includes a series or related actions arising from and performed pursuant to a single design or purpose. Killing with premeditation is a killing after consciously deciding to do so. The decision must be present in the mind at the time of the killing. The law does not fix the exact period of time that must pass between the formation of the premeditated intent to kill and the killing. The period of time must be long enough to allow reflection by the defendant. The premeditated intent to kill must be formed before the killing. Premeditation can happen in seconds. There is no fixed time. There just has to be a conscious reflection by the defendant. They reflect upon it and form that premeditated intent to kill. We are well beyond that in this case. This is a planned first-degree murder. Before they even got into that black Chevy Impala, they had planned to do this. They had got weapons together. They knew what sort of equipment they wanted. Not only did they have the type of weapons that fire rapidly, they intended to get away with this murder. They got brass catchers. They put those on the AR rifles, and none of the brass, none of the spent shell casings were left behind because they were collected. That is sophistication. That are people that planned to commit this crime and planned to get away with it. The question of premeditation is a question of fact to be determined by.
Yeah, let me jump in here and say this again, for the record. That's just not, some shit that happens, man. People don't be out committing crimes with shell catchers and shit, bro. Like that is a level of sophistication. I gotta agree with her on that, man, because that's not common where they are literally using military grade weapons and not your everyday things that's hitman type shit. A shell catcher, like that again, and she cooked on all this shit because she's right there with him. I wonder how this would have played out if she wasn't walking next to him and he just had her phone and shit like that. I don't think she has a shot.
By you as jurors, from the evidence, it will be sufficient proof of premeditation if the circumstances of the killing and the conduct of the accused convince you beyond a reasonable doubt of the existence of premeditation at the time of the killing. The proof in this case is overwhelming, and you can see it yourself. Those videos are evidence. It is direct evidence. It is captured on video for all of you to see it. You saw what happened. You saw that they tracked and they stalked and they hunted that victim down in Florida, here in Tampa. He posted where he was going to be on his Instagram. She follows his Instagram. She doesn't like him. It's clear from her messages that she does not like Charles Jones. Why in the world would she need to follow him? She follows his Instagram. And on Instagram, well before he...
Oh, yeah, too. Since we're here, and it's just the perfect time to say, go ahead and unfollow all of your enemies. If you don't like a person, I would say go ahead and unfollow them, because what she's telling you here is you shouldn't be following people who you don't like. And I mean, I don't think that's uncommon, but if that can be weaponized in a courtroom against you, it's something to think about.
Came to Florida over 7 days before he came, he is posting that he is going to be at Teasers on June 22nd between 8 and 3 a.m. He also posts that he is going to be at Teasers on June 22nd. He is posting exactly where he is going to be. That is the reason why they are coming to Tampa on June 22nd of 2024. That is the only reason that they are coming to Tampa. She books that Airbnb. She does it on June 21st of 2024. She is trying to book the Airbnb. She's not the actual one that books it because the co-defendant, Rashad Murphy, ends up doing it. This falls through. But it is clear that she is in the loop. It is clear that she is participating. She is the first one that tries to book the Airbnb in Tampa. It's very clear. This happens on June 21st of 2024. We had Detective Ramos say to you exactly where she was when she did that. The judge read to you the date of the crime, and for count 2, for the conspiracy count, the dates that we have to prove are between June 21st and June 23rd of 2024. And there are several locations that are involved in the conspiracy, but the first one is where she is located when she sends this. And she is not with the defendant, Isaiah Chance. Isaiah Chance is miles away on his own device, nowhere near her, when she herself is trying to book all of them an Airbnb. And there is a reason why they have her booking the Airbnb. There's a reason why, when she doesn't get the Airbnb, that Rashad Murphy uses the shared phone that he does of his girlfriend, Charmaine Steiger. Because when Julio, Foolio, when Charles Jones gets killed, who do you think the primary suspects are going to be? It is going to be the high-profile rival gangs that are feuding with him online. So Isaiah Chance can't book the Airbnb with his phone. So Rashad Murphy doesn't use a phone. He's known as Ghost. He uses the shared phone of Charmaine Steiger, because they know when law enforcement officers come looking and they know certified in a gang, that the first thing that they are going to look for is the usual suspects in this rival gang war. So Charles Jones isn't going to use his own phone. He's going to use the cover of his girlfriend, just like Rashad Murphy isn't going to.
Bro, she is fucking up, man. And that should work against her. Like, for real, like, how many times she gonna say Charles Jones? Charles Jones is Foolio. Like she keep getting these names mixed up.
Gang war. So Charles Jones isn't going to use his own phone. He's going to use the cover of his girlfriend. Just like Rashad Murphy isn't going to use his own phone, he's going to use Charmaine.
For us, every day is refreshing. Whether it's delivering an order to a
That's crazy to make that mistake that many times.
They're going to look for is the usual suspects in this rival gang war. So Charles Jones isn't going to use his own phone. He's going to use the cover of his girlfriend. Just like Rashad Murphy isn't going to use his own phone, he's going to use Charmaine Steiger's phone. This is what they do because they want to ensure after this happens that they don't get caught. They also get rid of all of their phones. They don't want any sort of evidence to be linked and tracked back to them. So she said on June 21st of 2024 that she wants to book an Airbnb. She wants more than one bedroom, like 2. And that doesn't fall through, or that falls through. And so Rashad Murphy on his phone, this is the phone that is confiscated in Rashad Murphy's possession when he flees from law enforcement in that silver Chevy Cruze, when he is found later by the Gwinnett County Police Department when they have put out an alert for that vehicle. And so he is the one on his phone, the extraction from his phone. There is the actual booking of the Airbnb that they end up using. And it is no mistake, it is no coincidence that this Airbnb on Gazebo Pond Lane is within miles, just a couple of miles of where Charles Jones, the victim in this case, is shot and killed. It is in no coincidence that that Airbnb is only within a couple miles of the 2 very clubs that he is going to be performing at are going to be at in Tampa, at Teasers and at Truth 18. And so the other location for count 2 of the indictment that we have to prove is that it was within a 10-mile radius of both Truth 18 and of Teasers. And those addresses are both in here listed as well. 4819 East Bush Boulevard, as well as 9700 North Nebraska area. I'm sorry, North Nebraska Avenue. Both of those locations are within Hillsborough County. The other address as part of this conspiracy is the Airbnb itself, that they were within a 3-mile radius of 3703 Gazebo Pond Lane, Tampa, Florida, County of Hillsborough. And the last and final address of that conspiracy is 11606 McKinley Drive, which is the address of the Home to Suites, as well as the address of Rashad Murphy, that phone when this Airbnb is booked. And that is another Jacksonville address that you will see on this date of the crime, where it says, sorry, I'm going to go to the address, 301 Caravan Circle, Jacksonville County, also state of Florida. And the final one is the house of Sean Gathright, 13751 Victoria Lakes Drive, Circle, Jacksonville County, also, I'm sorry, Jacksonville, Florida, also County of Duval. Those are all the addresses of where acts that occurred in this conspiracy. And that is what we have to prove, and that is what we have proven. That is why Detective Ramos testified to exactly where this device was when they sent out this request to book the Airbnb and had it confirmed. And he had his driver's license to, in order to secure and book that Airbnb.
Yeah, that's some dumbass shit. You're gonna go do a hit, my nigga. We ain't using my license to book no Airbnb. You done lost your fucking mind, bruh. Like, I don't care how much we think we gonna get away with it. We're not booking shit with my ID. Like, niggas dumb as fuck. Like, my nigga, like, we finna go do a move, and you don't mind being the person whose identity we're doing all of this behind home. We ain't using my name for shit. I'm telling you now.
You have seen the search warrant that was executed on SeanGathright's house afterwards. And these firearms, there were 2 assault rifles that were taken. And they were collected and they were sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for testing. You saw the brass catchers, evidence in this case. All of this leads back to this first-degree premeditated murder and conspiracy to kill Charles Jones. What you saw in the video, the type of firearms that were used in this case, 2 of the shooters had assault rifles that had brass catchers on it, and they lead directly back to Sean Gathright. His path was followed. We know where he went in the black Chevy Impala after leaving that Airbnb. There is video evidence of all 4 defendants, Rashad Murphy, Davion Murphy, Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, and Alicia Andrews all were at that Tampa Airbnb. The only one who wasn't was Rashad Murphy. But because he took an Uber, we know he was at that Tampa Airbnb as well, because we see the Uber dropping them all off at Sean Gathright's house. And you heard the testimony from the Uber driver, and he testified that the 3 people that he picked up at that Airbnb are the exact same 3 people that he dropped off. And then after we see Sean Gathright leave, he's the one that takes the Chevy Impala to his grandmother's house in Auburndale. And then he switches vehicles because, again, he does not want to be caught driving the vehicle that contains the 3 shooters who gunned down Charles Jones in Jacksonville, Florida. So he switches vehicles. He leaves that vehicle at grandma's house. And what does he do? He wipes down the entire car. He is getting rid of fingerprints. He wants to make it look like none of his friends were in that vehicle. They are very smart. They are very sophisticated. Those two casings, they are not from rifles. They were not fired by the guns that had those brass catchers on it. What those are 9mm shell casings. The only brass, the only casings that were left here at this homicide was 9mm. That firearm had the switch that made it fully automatic, the one that you saw on State's Exhibit 22, the first gunman to fire directly at the windshield of the victim's vehicle was a firearm. It was a 9mm, and it unloaded 31 shell casings onto the ground at that homicide scene where Charles Jones was murdered.
That's that sweet.
And all of those shell casings were recovered. And you heard how 3 of them, they tried to get DNA off of them, were packaged specially and sent off to ATF. One of them was kept for Tampa Police Department to submit for analysis and comparison. And they compared it to these 2 spent shell casings in the safe of Sean Gathrights' house, and they are a ballistic match. You heard from Amara Drew. She testified that she compared both of those shell casings to the one that was found at the murder scene and retained by Tampa Police Department for testing. And this
So just keeping the shell casings for mementos, like it's not a possibility of getting caught, huh? We just take them and throw them in the closet and look at them every now and then. That's wild. Hey man, these young niggas crazy.
same firearm that fired those 2 shell casings that were ejected out of the 9mm are a match and ballistically identified to the same gun that was shot that you saw on that video, State's Exhibit 22, fired in the windshield of Charles Jones's car. You also heard about the spent shell casing that were recovered from Jacksonville from the Toyota 4Runner of G.O.A.T. Remember all of those shell casings that were collected. States Exhibit 50 and States Exhibit 49A through I. Both of those shell casings were collected and submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Some were from the Toyota 4Runner in that box. Do you remember the photograph of the box? And then they went and retained from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office the shell casings that were recovered from the October 2023 attempted murder of Charles Jones. And they compared those shell casings. And those shell casings, again, analyzed by Amar Drew, and they were matched, ballistically matched to the same firearm. Both were shot by the same assault rifle. The other part of the ballistic evidence that you heard about were the fragments that were recovered from the medical examiner's office. And they were sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to be compared against the 2 rifles, the 2 assault rifles that were collected in this case from that safe in Shaq's house. And what Amar Drew could tell you is from that fragment that one of them found that it did not shoot that projectile. So one of them did. The other one is inconclusive, and that meant there wasn't enough detail on that projectile, that fragment that was found in the victim's body to say that it was or to say that it wasn't. So those 2 assault rifles absolutely can be assault rifles that were used in this case. They match the appearance. They have the brass catchers on them that we saw was used in this crime. And because we don't have any spent casings, which again is part of their plan to make it difficult to link the firearms to this case.
Man, that is some crazy shit to be riding around with somebody doing something to somebody. Like, I mean, that, like, for real, dog. You trying to go to jail for real, getting caught with that.
We cannot compare brass casings because there were none left at the scene. But there's definitely evidence in that scene in Sean Gathwright's house that are connected, and those are those 9mm that were found in that scene, along with those 2 AR rifles. That's why you heard from our Drew, and that is why all of that evidence was brought down from Jacksonville, because it ties these defendants to the homicide here in Tampa and the attempted homicide of the victim in 2023. These were all of the type of ammunition that was consistent and capable of being fired in those assault rifles, also found in Sean Gathwright's home. And when we talk about planning and
In a moment, Todd's mom will read her in browsing history.
What?
ExpressVPN apps keep your activity and identity private while you browse.
ahead of time, there was coordination. And when we talk about planning and conspiracy, what we're talking about, we have the video evidence to prove and show all of it, just how well coordinated. Not only was it planned ahead of time, not only did they talk about it ahead of time, there was coordination each and every time. This was a mission to kill Charles Jones, and there was an assault hit team, and there was a surveillance team that the defendant was a part of. And again, when we talk about using her for cover, she was a part of it. She was an active participant. She's not just sitting in the car. She has a role to play. Her play is that she is going to give Isaiah Chance cover. They know who Isaiah Chance is. You heard from Robert Howard there. If he would have saw or recognized Isaiah Chance alone in the parking lot in Tampa in the same vicinity of his friend Charles Jones, they absolutely would have known that they were in danger. He wants to blend. That's what she is. She's covered. That's what they do. They use their girlfriends, and she is an active, willing participant, and she has protected him in that interview with law enforcement and on that stand today, and she continues to protect him. And the judge will read to you an instruction, and she will let you know that once the defendant takes the stand, you treat her like any other witness in this case, and you determine whether or not she is credible. You determine whether or not she is lying on that stand when she tells you that she had no idea of what was going on. Common sense does not leave this courtroom. There is no way that a plan this well executed, this well planned, that those killers would have brought in someone who had no idea of what was going on. She is a trusted confidant of her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance. You heard those messages. You know not only is she a trusted confidant and that she knows all of the details of the gang war, that she has been personally affected by this, and there is no love lost for Julio Foolio. Her boyfriend that she loves and that she is willing to lie for and ignore what her attorneys are telling her to do and still call him and talk to him 5 times a day, sometimes more, about this case, it is because she.
Man, look, I'm telling my wife about this shit, dog. That's crazy. 5 times a day? Oh, I'm gonna see if I can get under my wife's skin with this here. So don't be surprised if she reviews some of this, cause yeah, I'm gonna tell my wife about this here. This is big, big, big mammy action. This is crazy. If you don't let that man go, what the hell?
And still call him and talk to him 5 times a day, sometimes more, about this case, it is because she is still in a relationship. She is doing that knowing that every single one of those phone calls are recorded. That is how much she loves him. That is how much she is willing to protect him. You see this chart. They went and they stalked that victim at more than one location. And you heard from Detective Ramos, and you heard from their own experts, Thomas Pullen, that all of the phones belonging to Isaiah Chance and Sean Gathright, that they were tracked, I'm sorry, not Isaiah Chance, Davian Murphy and Sean Gathright, that they were tracked to teasers earlier that day, before the victim was there, that they were going up and down Hillsborough. You know what that is? They're casing it. They want to know where is a good opportunity to shoot and kill the victim. That is why they are there before. The phone evidence in this case is overwhelming. That with the video evidence, you got to see with your own eyes exactly what happened in this case. And at this first location off of North Nebraska, you can see exactly by this diagram where everyone went. Those 4 cars represent the victim's vehicles, and the blue represents Isaiah Chance and the defendant, and they are the surveillance team. The black Chevy Impala, it never gets to the scene first in any 3 of those locations: Teasers, Truth 18, and Home to Sweets. And they only ever go in the parking lot. This isn't a reconciliation. This isn't a romantic getaway. This isn't a time for the 2 of them to get back together. There is one purpose, and that is to find Charles Jones. They never go inside. They never talk to a bouncer. Their one job is to see when Charles Jones gets there. They walk in the parking lot. It is June in Florida, in Tampa, Florida. It is hot out. Isaiah Chance, who cares about his appearance, who wants to know what his outfit looked like, who gets into a war of words with Charles Jones online because he's accused of wearing fake designer clothes, is not going clubbing in a gray hoodie with the hoodie pulled up and a COVID mask on his face. And neither is the defendant. She's not going in some kind of track pants and a blue jacket clubbing in Tampa if that is their true purpose. They are wearing COVID masks so that their faces are covered, and they are appearing as a couple so that Charles Jones and his friends don't have any sort of alert or warning that the other gang is here. And the people in the black Chevy Impala never get out because they absolutely know who Rashad and Davian Murphy are. They never get out until they are ready and they know that Charles Jones are in their sights. And it is only after the silver Chevy Cruze gets there and park. And that club is packed. They have to leave. They have to circle around the parking lot because that parking lot is packed. It doesn't matter that her boyfriend doesn't like a packed club. If that were the case, they would have never even pulled in. They are there for one purpose, and that is to get eyes on the victim. And the video shows it. There is doubt that is what happens. She is walking less than a foot away from him at all times when he is talking on their phone. It goes beyond belief that she didn't hear every single word that he said. And she is not shocked. She is not trying to walk away from him. And she certainly is not surprised because she knew it. All of the conversations about the conspiracy, they happened well before the date that we charged for that conspiracy. And you know it did. You know with your common sense that this was talked about at many locations, at many times, and many different places that we have never alleged and we will never be able to bring to you. Because the defendant will never admit what she did. She won't admit it to Detective Ramos and the detectives of the Tampa Police Department, and she's certainly not going to admit it to you, because that would mean that she is confessing to conspire in a first-degree, premeditated murder. But you know that those conversations happened because of what you saw on video. She is not surprised. She is playing her role. She is playing her part. You saw those messages between her phone and Sean Gathright. Pick up the effing phone now. Pick up the effing phone now. They are desperate for communication. To suggest to you that there wasn't an actual phone call that occurred after that second text message is preposterous. And she is seated next to him in that silver Chevy Cruze. And to suggest to all of you that you don't know exactly the type of conversation that happened in that car that she absolutely heard, knew about, because she is a part of it. Your common sense tells you that. This was well planned, well executed, and they would not have brought along a girlfriend unless she served a purpose. And she did. She was their cover. And you know.
Yeah, fam, she threw. Because look, that's the case. That's what I would say. That's everything. Like, that she don't have no purpose there. There's no reason to take her. Even some niggas out doing a move like that is asking, like, what the fuck is she here, bruh? Oh, okay, well, yeah, you know, she gonna get the Airbnb. She gonna drive. She gonna this. She gonna, you know what I'm saying? She got her purpose. Like, other than that, like nigga, we ain't sliding with nobody old lady to go do no hit. Like, are you kidding?
From the stand, she admitted what had happened on October 8th, that phone call. She had to admit. She didn't want to admit it, just like when law enforcement officers were questioning her. When I was questioning her, she in her memory, she knows the conversation she's had with with Isaiah Chance. She knows their conversations. She knows what happened when his best friend, one of his good friends, was shot and killed on October 6th and 7th of 2023. And how upset he was. There are messages between the two of them where he is telling her how out of her mind he is with grief. And you heard her say, yeah, I had to stay away. I had to stay away. And then he's telling her to be loyal, to stay loyal. And then she is responding, don't worry, I'm straight. I'll delete those messages. She is his intimate confidant. They have talked about this. And what exactly do you think that she needs to delete? What conversation could she possibly have to delete on August 8th of 2023? Charles Jones was shot on October 7th of 2023, and her boyfriend and the boyfriend's best friends are now ballistically connected to that attempted murder of Charles Jones. We know exactly what she's deleting. She's got his back. She had his back on October 8th of 2023. She had his back in that interrogation room with law enforcement where they are pressing her. Make no mistake, she knew why they were talking to her. She knew why they were questioning her. It's clear in her messaging, the person that they're making fun of, law enforcement, for having the wrong phone. She knows law enforcement officers are looking for her, saw that text exchange.
NSS4. Sleeper, faster, smarter.
Marking
Dual one kill.
About police, and she's like, enforcement officers are looking for her. You saw that text exchange. You saw her say, are they still there? It's very clear they're talking about police. And she's like, I still have my phone. It's just for a resisting arrest charge. Oh, too bad. They have the new phone. They didn't get the old phone, laughing my effing ASS off, right? That's consciousness built evidence. There isn't any reason she needs to be laughing at law enforcement for having the phone, having her new phone, and not having her old phone, unless the old phone has what? The old phone on it. And you heard from law enforcement, there's an Apple iCloud that she didn't count on, that they were able to get up a backup of. They're able to get a backup of her phone of every single thing, messages, thousands of messages. But the one message area that they can't get is the day of the homicide. They are able to get it off Sean Gathwright's phone. That's why we know that her phone and Sean Gathwright's phone are communicating desperately when the tracking of the victim is occurring. You have video evidence of Charles Jones being stalked at Teasers for silver Chevy Cruze. You have video evidence of after the silver Chevy Cruze, the black Chevy Impala appears. Same exact thing happens at Truth 18. The two places where the victim advertised that he would be on Instagram, and she follows him on Instagram. And again, the same coordination. The surveillance tracking vehicle, the silver Chevy Cruze, with again, if she truly didn't know what her boyfriend and their friends were doing, there would be no reason to lie. The interview would look a lot different. It would look like, I literally was just there with my boyfriend. This is what his name is. This is who he was with. This is where we came from. Yes, there were 3 other people there. I don't know how they got there. What else?
Yeah, man, people better learn a lesson from this type of shit. Like I say, we'll see at some point, maybe today, tomorrow. But yeah, she don't seem like she gonna get off of this, in my opinion. I just don't want to see the rest of the closing. I got some other stuff I got to get going here. But yeah, she's done, in my opinion. I would be surprised if it takes that jury any more than 2 or 3 hours to convict her. But we'll see. But I do appreciate y'all popping in on me, checking this out. That is a crazy situation that young lady has herself in. Hopefully, at some point, people will learn not to put themselves in them type of situations, because she did all that shit to herself and still doing it to herself. Like talking to the dude on the phone, all that shit. That shit's crazy. Like, wow. But yeah, let me get up out of here, man. I already went over. I'll be back later. I appreciate y'all coming.